need to learn how to play something.
Oh yeah. Do you know how to play any instruments?
No, the only thing I was starting to learn how to play bass guitar like a year ago or so, but then literally it was like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, nothing major. But that's the only thing. Like I never even did anything when I was little, but I always wanted to.
Well, I would say harmonium is like one of the easiest instruments to learn. Because it's like
trying to see like if I could find one that's like not real expensive, like a used one or something. I think that would be cool.
You can only play it with one hand.
True.
And it doesn't have any kind of rhythm to it. It's not like piano where it's like, you got your rhythm going on with your melody.
Right.
So it's I think it's one of the it's one of those instruments you learn something and you're ready to like rock in a short time.
That's what I need.
Like what remember Raghunath? He said he played violin for years. He never was able to use it.
Yeah.
Like that, it's not one of those instruments where you just practice and mediocre goes really far with the harmonium. Whereas like mediocre in like saxophone or violin does not get you very far.
No.
So.
Well, that's good to know because I need something with some quick results.
Mridanga is, I wouldn't say it's really hard, but it does take, you're not gonna. Someone could sit you down with the harmonium and show you how to play a song, and within a half hour or hour, if it's a simple song, you might be able to play it and sing it and be a lead singer singing it in front of a bunch of people. Mridanga, you can't do that. You can't you're not going to go anywhere in just 1 hour, but you literally can do something with the harmonium in 1 hour. Here, I'll show you a little example.
Oh, cool.
Let's do that. I'll give you an example of a very epic but simple to play melody. Oh, something. I wanted a key step. There you go. So you just go up 4, go down 5, take a skip, and do the same thing. Go up 4, go down 1, and start over. So you go up 4, down 5, take a little skip, up 4, down 5. That's the first part. And the second part is a little harder than that, but as you see, that first part's very easy.
Yeah.
And you can sing that. That melody is so fun and powerful and epic. You can sing it for like an hour long, just that same melody.
That's and then how do you know, like, does it matter what you do with your other hand with the different melodies, or?
Okay, yeah, that's just to keep the air in the harmonium. Some you just pump. This is called like Ayendra Prabhu designed these. He called them screaming babies. Because they're kind of like in your face, little. They're not as here. I'll grab another harmonium. It's not a normal harmonium, but it has more of a normal sound.
Oh, I didn't know there's different ones like that.
Okay, I need this one. Okay, this is another harmonium. It's a little weird. It's got this in India. It kind of came like in a little suitcase, but then I think something came off eventually. Something doesn't, but it flips up like that. This one's, it's also very small.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Portable. It doesn't sound cute. Like a real expensive harmonium, but it has more of a normal harmonium sound.
Neat.
Both of these are a little finicky with like so this one, because it's small and it's portable and it's really loud and kind of like almost abrasive. So this one's a little bit here. You may notice how stronger it is.
Oh yeah.
That's why I always
Totally.
have
Yeah.
this on top of it.
Oh, I wondered, but I thought it was.
This way you can also put a little bit more air in it. Because if you try to just put a little bit air and the flow is not going, then the sound will just stop. So especially if you're playing like more than one key, then you can run out of air quickly on this little portable one. The bellows come. I don't know if you can see. It goes like that.
Yeah.
It pumps it inside now.
Nice.
So these are I would say probably twice or 3 times as loud as a regular harmonium. Regular harmonium, you go out in the street, outside in the street noise, and you can't hear anything practically. But this is it's made to be heard, It's made with antique bell metal reeds that are over 100 years old. German bell, usually they're brass reeds. These are bell metal reeds. So as I was saying, there's, wait 1 second. Let me go do this for Ramananda. Give him 30 minutes. Yeah. Right. So, okay, now I'll just show you the second part of it, and then we'll do it. The second part's easy also. You see how it is?
Yeah.
That's the second part.
Yeah.
There's a few other things you could do after that, but that's melody is basically just those 2 parts.
Nice.
And it's not really complicated. It is a very powerful feeling melody. It's like it's really meditative, and you can really belt your voice out. You could have, and so it's a simple one. And you could show somebody how to play the first part, and I've sat people down the first time at the temple, and had them sing this in front of the crowd.
Oh my God.
So it can be done.
Oh, geez.
How you doing, Carmen?
Hello, hi Krishna. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good, very good. Everything's still everything's looking like we should be able to go to El Paso. I hope so. Looks like it. Even though gas prices are up. So that's the Shaka over there. Shaka. It's Carmen. Remember Carmen? Yeah. You should see her soon.
Papa.
Yeah.
I was looking for on AliExpress, right, and I found something that it says the shipping is $457.
Okay.
Why is the shipping so much?
All right. Okay, so we'll start. I thought you were going to say something related to what we're talking about. You're like, I'm ignoring those people. I'm not paying attention to people. All right, let's start.
Awesome.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. See, all you need is a harmonium and a vishaka.
No.
That's all you need. Two, you need a harmonium and a vishaka, and you're ready. So you want to fly her to Florida? You just
Yes.
take her there.
She'll have to teach me.
Just put a drum in there, take it on her lap on the plane, and there you go. You're ready to rock. What? I did already.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was trying to
All right. Well, thank you, Vishaka. We'll do our little reading.
Thank you.
All right. Hare Krishna. Okay, so any questions? Anything you guys want to cover?
Maybe something Gaur Purnima related.
Gaur Purnima. Okay, first lesson, it's Gaur Purnima.
Gaur Purnima.
Purnima. Purnima means a full moon. So there's certain, all the festivals basically give you the dates in the festival name. Like you have Nishinga Chaturdashi, Nishinga 14, 410, when it comes 14. Ram Navami, Nava means 9. And you have Nityananda Trayo Dashi, 310 becomes 13. And Purnima, so that's a 13th day after, I think it's the waning or waxing of the moon, or the 14th day, or the, what is it? Rad Ashtami, Ashta 8. Janmashtami, 8. So Purnima is the full moon. And you have these Sanskrit words, and when they were brought into more of the newer languages, Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, oftentimes the more modern way, like modern, I'm saying like going back hundreds of years versus the original Sanskrit, is you drop the A on words that end with a short A, like Arjuna ends with a small a short A. There's no line there. And so you hear people in India say Arjun. Or you'll see people even say Krishan for Krishna. Even. Or they'll say, you've definitely heard Ram instead of Rama.
Yes.
But when you have a word that has a long A, you don't cut it. That's a feminine A. So you have Radha. Nobody ever says Rad. Or Sita, the long A. Never says Seat. They always say Sita, no matter if you go to Sanskrit or you go to the newer languages. So Purnima is one of those words. It's a feminine word, so it's Purnima. But oftentimes, and we devotees say, we joined International Society of Krishna Consciousness in the late 60s, early 70s, and nobody knew this stuff. So oftentimes, even the most senior are the ones that you hear saying all the funny pronunciations, and the ones the newbies are the ones that are able to have a little better chance of pronouncing it because they had like 50 something years to figure it out. Whereas the people who joined in the late 60s and 70s, it's the way they always heard it. So
your voice is so cool. It's such good info.
Yeah. So Purnima, and it's let's open it up. Let's go get a Chaitanya Charitamrita because it's coming up. We gotta get in the mood. Thank you, Carmen G. Let's see. And you could also open up Chaitanya Bhagavat. There's a whole chapter about Lord Chaitanya being crazy, ridiculously naughty. Just so bad. Naughty kid. But let's see. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a wonderful book. There's so many chapters before you get into the kind of the Leela portion. There's a lot of philosophy before we get into the Leela. So chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as I thought, it's around chapter 14 and 15 is when the kind of philosophical introduction's over and you get in more story time. Ooh, yes. Found something very special. Okay. So a lot of the chapters, that's probably all of the chapters, but as far as I know, a lot of the chapters, they start off with a wonderful benediction, a meditation. And this is a favorite of mine. We used to chant this. I forget who. It might have been Bhakti Marg Swami who told me this. I don't know who told me this, but I used to chant it before we would do. 1 second. I'm going to give Ramananda a little. 15 minutes. There we go. It's a verse that we used to chant in many circumstances. One I remember is we used to chant before doing a theatrical play, drama performance. As we say, in English, we, English, everything's mixed up. So we play at a recital and we recite at a play. But this is the, and you got, I saw this article, all the funny things about English. But the verse goes like this. Katachana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam shat Shri Shaytanya namamitam. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So you can see why we would chant this before doing a drama or doing something hard, easy things difficult things become easy if we can remember. So I'm gonna, here, let me pull it up on Vedabase because then I can just, it's all on one string. Vedabase. Carmen, you use that website too, vedabase.com or IO. You go there? All the books are there?
I do.
Okay, so Vedabase, chapter 14. And you can do advanced view. I'll take off the synonyms and the Bengali. Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhu Kaila E Janmalila Sutra Yashoda Nanda Yache Haila Satri Putra. Thus, I have described in Sutra, in brief, the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared as a son of Mother Sachi, exactly as Krishna has appeared as the son of Mother Yashoda, Satriput. Sanshepe Kaila Janma Lila Anukram Eva Kahi Bala Lila Sutre Ganan. I have already spoken briefly about the pastimes of his birth in chronological order. And now I shall give a synopsis of his childhood pastimes. Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balam Lila Manoharam Laulikim Aptitam Isha Chistya Valitantaram. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the childhood pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself. Although such pastimes appear exactly like that of an ordinary child, they should be understood as various pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so I'm not going to sing as beautiful as Krishna's Kaviraj is his Bengali poetry. And imagine you write a book that's 9 volumes this big, and every sentence is a poem. Every sentence rhymes and has meter. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. But I'm just going to read so we can hear more. In his first pastimes, the Lord turned upside down while lying on his bed, and thus he showed his parents the marks on his lotus feet. When the Lord tried to walk, in his small footprints, the specific marks of Lord Vishnu were visible, namely the flag, thunderbolt, conch shell, disc, and fish. So there's certain marks on the feet of Krishna. And when Lord Chaitanya was walking, if he walked on the soft sand, it said those marks were visible in the sand. Seeing all these marks, neither his father nor mother could understand whose footprints they were. They were struck with wonder. They could not understand how those marks could be possible in their home. Jagannath Mishra said, certainly child Krishna is the Shaligram Shila. So they don't think it's their son that's leaving those footprints. Taking his childhood form, he's playing within the room. While Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra were talking, child Nimai woke and began to cry, and Mother Sachi took him on her lap and allowed him to suck her breasts. We're skipping the part where we didn't read the part where Advaitacharya is praying fervently, worshiping his deity, his Shaligram Shila, with great devotion, praying, "Oh Lord, this world needs your advent. Kali Yuga is such an ocean of faults. Please come and deliver all of mankind for this age. Show us the Yuga Dharma and distribute Krishna Prema, love of Krishna." And so this is after Krishna has appeared. It was serendipitously. You have everybody going to the Ganges and chanting Hari, 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 because during the eclipse, it is considered misfortunate, unfortunate. And because of that eclipse, people would counteract that by the chanting of God's names. And so everybody would go to the Ganges and chant. And it said it was such a powerful event that everybody, the Muslims were there chanting out of kind of jest, just out of fun. Like, look at all these people chanting. Let's do this. This is funny and fun. And so they all, there were millions of people at the banks of the Ganges chanting right during the advent of Lord Chaitanya. While Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra were talking, child Nimai woke up, began to cry. Oh, I just read that sentence. While Mother Sachi was feeding the child from her breast, she saw on his lotus feet all those marks that were visible on the floor of the room. And she called for Jagannath Mishra. When Jagannath Mishra saw the wonderful marks on the soles of his son, he became very joyful and privately called for Nilambar Chakravarti. When Nilambar Chakravarti saw those marks, he smilingly said, "Formerly, I ascertained all this by astrological calculation and noted it all in writing. There are 32 bodily marks that symbolize a Mahapurusha, a great personality. And I see all those marks on the body of this child." This is the science of physiognomy, understanding certain things by bodily features. So one feature of Lord Vishnu is if he stands up, his hands reach to his knees. And if you stand up right now, you'll notice that your hands do not reach to your knees. There are 32 bodily symptoms of a great personality. 5 of his bodily parts are large, 5 are fine, 7 are reddish, 6 are raised, 3 are small, 3 are broad, and 3 are grave. Do you know what are the 3 deep aspects of Krishna?
I don't.
His voice,
Oh.
often described like the thundering of clouds. His
Oh.
belly button and his personality. Yes. This baby has all the symptoms of Lord Narayan on his palms and soles, and he'll be able to deliver all the three worlds. This child will preach the Vaishnava cult and deliver both his maternal and paternal families. I propose to perform a name-giving ceremony. We should observe a festival and call all the brahmanas because today is very auspicious. And the future this child will protect and maintain all the world. For this reason, he is to be called Vishvambhara. Vishva means the universe. After hearing Nilambar Chakravarti's prediction, Shachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra observed the name-giving festival in great joy, inviting all the brahmanas and their wives. Now, when Nanda and Yashoda did this, they had to do it very secretly. They had to do the ceremony very quietly because there was the danger of Kamsa. Kamsa was trying to kill any child that was born during the time that Devaki and Vasudev were supposed to have their child. And he sent the witch Putana far and wide. Ramana, time's up, Ramana. After some day, the Lord began to crawl on his knees, and he caused various wonderful things to be seen. The Lord caused all the ladies to chant the holy names. Do you know how he did this? How did he do this, Carmen? Vishaka.
Yeah.
How did Lord Chaitanya make all the ladies chant?
Wait, one second.
I forgot it. I remember reading it somewhere, but I forgot it.
How did Lord Chaitanya make all the ladies chant when he was a child?
Because he was crying.
Yes, he would cry, and he only stopped if you chanted, if you started singing. And once it was over, he'd start crying again. And there's a video, there's a really cool video of this little kid, this devotee kid. He's a baby. And the father's chanting japa, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. And as soon as he stops, the baby will start crying. He's like, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And he always had, there's a video of this little baby who won't stop. You know, if you stop chanting, he starts crying. And when they chanted, the Lord would smile. After some days, the Lord began to move his legs and walk, and he mixed with the other children and exhibited various sports. One day, while the Lord was enjoying his playful sports with the other little children, Mother Sachi brought a dish filled with fused rice and sweets and asked the child to sit down and eat them. But when she returned to her household duties, the child hid from his mother and began to eat dirt. Seeing this, Mother Sachi hastily returned and exclaimed, "What is this? What is this?" She snatched the dirt from the hands of the Lord, and inquired, "Why are you eating it?" Crying, the child inquired from his mother, "Why are you angry? You have already given me dirt to eat. What is my fault?" So he's going to speak kind of philosophy of Sankhya and a little bit of oneness. He said, fused rice and sweetmeats or other eatables or other all transformations of dirt. This is dirt and that is dirt. Please consider, what is the difference between them? This body is a transformation of dirt, and the eatables are also a transformation of dirt. Please reflect on this. Why are you blaming me without consideration? What can I say? Imagine if you you saw a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and they're talking to you like this. You're like, what? Who are you? Astonished that the child was speaking Mayavada philosophy. Mother Sachi replied, "Who's taught you this philosophical speculation that justifies eating dirt?" Replying to the Mayavadi idea of the child philosopher, Mother Sachi said, "My dear boy, if we eat earth transformed into grain, our body is nourished and it becomes strong. But if we eat dirt in its crude state, our body becomes diseased instead of nourished, and thus it's destroyed. In a water pot, which is a transformation of dirt, I can bring water very easily. But if I poured water on a lump of dirt, the would soak up the water and my labor would be useless." The Lord replied to his mother, Why did you conceal self-realization by not teaching me this practical philosophy in the beginning? Now that I can understand this philosophy, I shall no more eat dirt. Whenever I am hungry, I shall suck your breasts and drink your breast milk. After saying, imagine a baby, he's like this little baby talking.
Yeah.
After saying this, the Lord smiled slightly, climbed on the lap of his mother, and sucked her breast. Thus, under the various excuses, the Lord exhibited his opulence as much as possible in his childhood. And later, after exhibiting his opulence, he hid himself. On one occasion, the Lord, oh my God, okay, I got to tell you this. On one occasion, the Lord ate the food of a Brahmana guest 3 times. Okay, it's only in one sentence there, but the full story is in another book. Chaitanya Charitamrita briefly goes over the early pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, because the author knew that although the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are glorious, there was already an author who has Vishwanath Chakravarti, not Vishwanath, not Vishwanath, it is the other V, not Vishwanath, it is, oh my God, what's wrong with my brain? Vrindavan Das Thakur. He wrote the Chaitanya Bhagavat, formerly known as Chaitanya Mangala. And or maybe the other book, Chaitanya Mangala, was formerly known as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sorry. But that book has more details of Lord Chaitanya's early life. So he said, okay, the author who's writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he's very old. I think he's in his 90s. And he said, okay, I'm just going to briefly cover these things because they've already been covered very nicely by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who's considered an incarnation of Vyasadeva himself. So I'm going to focus on the later pastimes and also more of the philosophy that Lord Chaitanya presented and revealed, which is not so comprehensively covered in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So there's a cool story. There is a guest. It says, Atiti Viprera. Atiti Vipre ana koila tina bhar pache gupte se vipre kaila nishtar. Titi means like a time, and atiti means not on time. So if you have somebody that just shows up at your door unexpected, they're called atiti, unexpected guests. And in the Vedic culture, and not just the Vedic culture, all around the world, all the old cultures, an uninvited guest was considered very special and someone to be honored. Uninvited guests, Atita Bhagavan Devo, Titi Devo. Uninvited guest is considered to be God himself, somebody to be, nowadays someone knocks on our door, we don't even answer the door, we slam the door in their face. But in the old times, uninvited guest was treated with great honor and respect. So this is a Vipra, a Brahmana, a priest who came uninvited, and he was graciously invited by the parents of Lord Chaitanya, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi, and as a strict Brahmana, he would, and as a kind of a traveling monk, he would only eat food that he himself cooked and offered to his own deities. And so he came over to the house, and they said, okay, would you like? He said, I will cook. And so they arranged for him they brought him all these vegetables, grains, and everything. And so he was cooking. And he prayed Krishna with so much love and devotion. He said, Krishna, please come. Please come and accept this food. 1 second. I'm kidding. I'll make it so no notifications. Oh, almost dropped it. How do I get the go away notifications? There we go. All right. Back. And so he's praying with great devotion. Lord, oh Krishna, please come. Please accept this food. And he opens his eyes, and the child, Nimai, is seated on the altar, and he is eating all the food. And he's like, what are you doing? You're eating the offering for the Lord. And he was like, and then the family came, hey, what's wrong? Oh, they said, oh, he ate the offering. He said, I think I should just fast today. They're like, no, please. We will be bad guests, bad hosts. Not guests. We will be a bad host if you don't eat. Please, you cook again. We'll bring all this food again. We will take him and we will lock him. We'll put him in another room with some other family members. The door will be closed, everything. So again, he does all his vegetable prep, all the cooking and cleaning, clean the area that he did the offering. Very ritualistic, all these rules of cleanliness. And again, he's praying, oh Krishna, please come. Please accept this offering. Oh my Gopal Krishna, please accept this offering. And this time it's late at night already getting late. And he opens his eyes. Boy is there. But Shaytania, seated on the altar, eating the food. And he's, oh my God, The family comes. Oh, I'm so sorry. They said, no, I should really fast. This is, I should just accept the situation. I should just fast. Daive netra. When something is, by divine arrangement, you see that something is so solidly going in a certain direction. It's very for sure going in a certain direction. Why should I fight it? This must be the Lord's arrangement. I should fast. Like, no, please, we don't want to create a big offense. Please, you, one more time. We will take him to somebody else's house. This child won't interrupt you anymore. We'll take him to somebody else's house. And so, again, clean the area, prepping all the vegetables and cooking and all the work that it takes. But this time, everyone is asleep. And Shaytanya, Nimai, he's actually at a neighbor's house. He's not even there in the house. And then finally he has his offering. He said, please, Lord, you please come and accept. And then Lord Chaitanya appears there. And he manifests his form as Krishna, as baby Krishna, eating those offerings. And the Brahmanas, hi, you're Krishna. first he makes some noise, but everyone's asleep now. And then Lord Chaitanya eats, and then he disappears. And then the family, he told them, Lord Chaitanya told them, actually before he disappeared, he said, do not tell anybody my identity. And so they heard this big commotion. And so they go in the room, and the man has the food all over his body. He's rolling on the ground, crying and laughing, and this the big smile on his face. And he says, the offering was a success. The offering he was just rolling in ecstasy. He personally saw Krishna. 3 times he fed Krishna. So that was the story that was hinted at in this paragraph, the sentence. On the occasion, the Lord ate food of the Brahmana, the guest, 3 times. And later, in confidence, the Lord delivered that Brahmana from material engagement. And there's another little story. In his childhood, the Lord was taken away by 2 thieves from his home. So Lord Chaitanya had beautiful jewels. And so they picked up this child. And they thought, oh, it'll just, it's a little baby. We'll just take his jewels, run off with him. The Lord, however, got on and the Lord Chaitanya, he was having a good time. They put him on his shoulders, this little child. And while they're thinking they were safely carrying the child to rob his ornaments, the Lord misled them. And instead of going to their own home, the thieves went back to the home of Jagannath Mishra, home of Lord Chaitanya. So they have this child and they're running around thinking, oh, we got this child. We're just going to take all these jewels. And they end up running back to the house that they came from. And then they were frightened, so they led Lord Chaitanya there and ran away. Pretending to be sick, the Lord asked for food from the house of Haranya and Jagadisha on a Kadashi day. I don't know that story. Haranya sounds like the father of Lord Nityananda. No, Adai. Yeah, there is a Haranya. Yeah, in his town, there's a Haranya. Yeah. As usual, for small children. I'll tell you want to hear a story of Lord Nityananda?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I'll tell you a story of Lord Nityananda. Because I think that story was at the house of Haranya. Haranya Pandit was his name. So Lord Nityananda, he is Lord Balaram, he's Krishna's brother. Krishna always comes with his eternal associates. And one of his eternal associates is Krishna in his form of his own brother. It says blue skies, white clouds, Krishna and Balaram. So Balaram and Krishna, there's no difference except for one is darkish, blackish, and one is whitish. White like the fresh spring cloud, and dark like the monsoon cloud. And Balaram, you see, his temper can be quite spicy. I was just listening to the Ramayana, and you hear Lakshman, he's so angry that Ram is being forced to go to the forest, and it's a very unfair seeming way. Huh?
It's not cooked yet.
Well done. Oh, well, Shaka's working on, she's baking a pie.
I don't even like pie, but I like baking.
She's making a pie. She says, I don't even like pie, but I like baking. It's cool.
Aww.
We like pie. Krishna likes pie. So, so Balaram is Krishna himself in the form of. I have this joke I say. What brand is Krishna? What brand of shoes does Krishna wear? Let's see, Carmen. Nike, Reebok, Adidas. Adidas.
I know he wears like sandals.
Sandal.
Right?
So Balaram actually it expands his form to serve Krishna in various ways. And one of the ways he serves Krishna is that he becomes Krishna's chhatra, umbrella, Krishna's bed, and he also becomes Krishna's shoes. So in this way, you could say Balaram is like the original servant of Krishna. So how do you say original? Like Govindam, the original person, Adi Purusham, Adi is first, original, beginning. And Das, servant. So Adidas. So not only is Balaram Krishna's shoes, but he is the Adidas. But Lord Nityananda is Balaram, but he's in a different mood. He's not in that spicy mood. He's in a very extremely soft, compassionate, tolerant mood, to the point where these thieves will bash his head in with a clay pot, and he will not protest. Whereas Balaram, in his form of Balaram, there was one king that was cheating, and they were playing some kind of dice game, and he was cheating, and he was teasing Balaram, and he was smiling. And Balaram took his club and mashed his teeth out. He ain't taking nothing. Lord Nityananda, very soft and sweet. Same personality, exhibiting a different personality, different side, multifaceted beings. So Lord Nityananda, he is a wild personality. Sometimes he's wrestling alligators. He's bedecked with beautiful jewels. And he came to see, he wanted to see Mother Sachi, the mother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is, of course, after Lord Chaitanya is grown. And when he came, also he was staying at the house of Haranya Pandit. And as soon as he came into the town, there's a thief that marked him. This is my mark. That's the guy. This guy's going to solve. He was like not just a thief. He was the a commander in chief of thieves. He had a whole gang, whole mafia, and he was deadly and ruthless, dangerous personality. And so he gathered all this men and said, "Hey, our problems are solved. There's this guy here, wonderful personality, I think, but he is loaded. He's got beautiful gems. He's got armlets and valuable earrings and bracelets and anklets, necklaces, decorated turban. All we got to do is go and get it." And so they decided, let's go at night. So they went to the house. They got their shields and swords. They got blue and black clothing, like some ninjas in the night. And they were hiding, and they had somebody watching. I came back and said, "They're chanting, they're singing and chanting." I said, "Okay, well, we'll keep on waiting, They have to go to sleep at some point." And so that night, Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, attacked them, and they all fell asleep. So in the morning, as the sun began to rise, and the crows and chickens and other things started to make noise, they woke up and they said, "Hey, they ran away from that spot. They hid their weapons and they ran. They took their morning bath, because although they're thieves, they're cultured thieves." Took their morning bath, the Ganges, and they went to their hideout, and they said, "Why didn't you fall asleep?" And they're like, "Oh, me? You're talking like you were awake watching who was asleep. Why did you fall asleep? And they're like, okay, let's come on. Let's have me honorable amongst our thief gang. And so this is all, I'm sure this is the mercy of Goddess Chandi. She will bless our thievery. Don't you worry. We'll do some goat sacrifice. I'm sure she'll bless her. We'll go back tomorrow and we'll be ready. And so they come back the next day. And this time they're quite frightened because they see soldiers, warriors, celestial looking beings, powerful. They look extremely mighty. It looks like one of those soldiers, they're all walking and they have their sword or staff or spear in hand, and they're all constantly chanting Hari 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 Hari. They're chanting like this, and it looks like one of those guys could kill 100 of them. They look exceptionally powerful, and so they're all frightened, and they leave. They go back to their hideout. They meet. And they said, this Nityananda, he's a very wise man. He probably knows what's going on. But this is a good thing. If all those guards are there, then maybe he has a very wealthy guest visiting his home. Maybe there is some very special wealthy visitor. So we should see this as a blessing. And we find, like in Krishna book, those of this kind of demonic mentality oftentimes delude themselves. They're like, those guards, they were probably scared. That's why they're chanting Hari, 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 calling out to God, because they're scared. We shouldn't worry about them. Or we should just wait 10 days. We'll wait 10 days, we'll go back. The guards will be gone for sure. And in the story of Jarasandha attacked the city of Krishna 18 times. Each time he came, he brought hundreds of thousands of soldiers. And Krishna would walk out of the city gates single-handedly and destroy all of them. And then just go back in. And Jarasandha would go back home, depressed, in distress, and his demonic friends would, you just got to think positive, and they would encourage him, and he was like, yes, it was, it's just because of this or that, blah blah blah. And he would go again, and this happened 18 times. And one of the reasons of the avatar of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya doesn't come to destroy, to kill off these demonic personalities, because in Kali Yuga everyone is a mix. But in Krishna's time, one of his purposes was to actually reduce the population of the evil, very not this mixed kind of potential for good, but very evil and extremely powerful personalities that were populating the earth. Goddess Earth herself prayed for Krishna, help me deal with this. It's like viruses on my body, I need to, please be the antibiotic, let it all be gone. And so Jarasandha was encouraged by his friends to go back in again and again. So like this, they encouraged each other, said, oh, those guards, they were just chanting Hari Hari because they were scared. Let's go back again and everything will work out. So they come back, and it's not Purnima. It's not a full moon. It is a moonless night. But due to the arrangement of the demigods, it becomes pitch black. And due to the arrangement of the demigods, these thieves lose their sight. And they start scrambling in all directions. They're so afraid. And in this manic state, one falls into a place where people wash their hands and wash dishes. And he gets bit by scorpions. Another guy falls into a ditch and he's harassed by gnats and leeches and mosquitoes. Another man falls into a blind well. Like when we say well, not an English well with bricks around, just a hole straight down. He falls into one of those wells, breaks his wrist, breaks his legs. Then, the demigods are upset at these thieves. So they're given. Then hail starts to come, and sleet, and lightning that is so, the thunder is so loud, and they're in such a miserable condition. They are praying that they would just die. It was so, and in that trauma, they start to Chaturvida Bhajante Mam Janasukritino Arjuna Arta Jikyasu Arta Arti Yanicha Bharatarshaba. Dana K, do you remember that one?
I know it. Now I just don't remember which number, but I can recognize it
so
all.
there's 4 types of people who begin to surrender unto the Supreme.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's that 716.
Yeah, one right around there. I think it's the one in distress. Yeah, 716. That should be it. Yeah, 714. 16 in distress. And so in their distress, they begin to surrender to the Lord. And in their surrender, all these miserable conditions begin to subside. And once everything clears, many of the soldiers, these thieves, they immediately go home. But that ringleader, he runs straight to Lord Nityananda and falls at his feet crying, begging for forgiveness. And he becomes purified, and he becomes a teacher of bhakti. He becomes a great devotee, and he starts to get all the thieves in the entire city to become transformed personalities and change their ways. And so that's the story of Lord Nityananda and the thieves from the Nityananda Charitamrita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful.
Thank you. That's beautiful stories.
Love it.
Spiritual world is full of grand, beautiful stories.
So true. Wow, that was so good.
So I think we'll stop here. Any other questions, comments, anything?
Thank you.
I want to say thank you for being consistent with all of your lectures and your classes. It's very amazing. It's amazing to be able to join every single week and just learn as much as I can and associate with wonderful devotees, and it's definitely something that's very rare.
Today you saw our Shakshi and Bali, they were working, so they couldn't come today.
Tell them we missed them.
I will tell them.
But we really do. I agree with Carmen. It's so wonderful. We really appreciate you very, very much. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Well, we couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you. Thank you for requesting. Bring up the let's get into Chaitanya's appearance day. It's coming up. Let's talk about it. So thank you for the inspiration, and yeah, and I we look forward. Hopefully, Krishna willing, everything. It looks like looks like we're looking to get some shifts covered for our work, and those were covered. So looks like we're ready to go. The prices for gas are up, but still, it's not too bad to give 2 tanks of gas here, 2 tanks back, and whatever, and everything else should be good. So
road trip.
Road trip, yes. All right.
Thank
So
Amazing.
say it again.
If you guys do come, it would be amazing and super exciting. And I can't wait to see you guys in person again.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So Hari Om Tat Sat. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yes? I don't know. I think he's in his room.